If you like the video or any other content on the channel, feel free to subscribe.
Alrighty, so this is our map today. We do have sweeping engagement, so it's like Dawn of War, but we're up 14 inches, and then halfway through the board we're down to 8 inches. Interesting. Then we have Adapt to Die, where you can change your secondary that you pick up twice per game. You can throw one away if you don't like it. Finally, we have Terraform, where you do an action on the objectives, and then, well, for the rest of the game, it gives you 2 victory points for each one you do. Let's go on and see what the Dark Angels and the Grey Knights do. This is the Knights of Titan, taking them out first time on the channel. So we have a Librarian with a squad of Paladins, and the Librarian has the Sigil of Exigence. There's 2 Incinerators in the Paladin group with a banner. We have a Grandmaster, and he has the Escapable Raft enhancement, so he has +1 to his charges. He's with 5 Terminators. One of them has the Psy Cannon, and then there is the healer thing with him too as well. A strike squad here, 5-man unit. I have a Custodes assassin just for doing some shenanigans. Castellan Crow with 10 purifiers. We have 4 incinerators in there. Another librarian, no enhancement on him, and he is with another group of terminators. Same as the first one, they have the little healer man there. So I can res a terminator in my command phase every turn if I'm still alive with them. Finally, I have the Dread Knights. So I didn't like the baby carriers. Thought they were ugly. So NecronMike hooked me up with some sick 3D prints here. So we have this fella, he doesn't have the gold, he is just a regular Dread Knight, no enhancements on him. And then we have a Grandmaster and Nemesis Dread Knight. You can tell the difference between them because I had some gold on here, just so my opponents could actually tell, so it wasn't feeling like I'm cheating. That's my list, it comes to 2,000 points exactly. So let's see what Mike has brought with his Dark Angels today.
Hello, today we are playing the Dark Angels. We are going with the Gladius Task Force. I figured I'd try something different than Inner Circle again. So we are running 5 of the Knights. They have a captain who's standing over there by himself, but I assure you he is supposed to be hanging out with them. We are running a group of 5 infiltrators. Keeping stuff out of your back line is always good. Squad of the new Inner Circle companions, 6 of them with Ezreal. We're running that one up. We are running a group of 10 Hellblasters with a captain. He's an old school model, but he's a captain. So, you know, he does captain stuff. He gives them the sustain 1 as well because of the enhancement he's running. We are running 2 groups of Deathwing Terminators. Neither of them have anybody with them. They're just going to be there to cause shenanigans. And we also have the Lion. Now that he has figured out how doors work, he's much better. And we are running 2 Ballistic Dreadnoughts just to give us a little bit more oomph against some range targets, that sort of thing. So yeah, we'll see how this goes.
For our deployment, I did put a lot of my army in Deep Strike just to see how it works. Could be a mistake. I do have the Purifiers with Castellan Crow, the Grandmaster Dread Knight, and then the Librarian with the Paladin squad. See if that were a mistake, see if I get mowed off the board too early now. But for now, I have the Librarian with the no enhancement. He is on the board in this terrain here. Behind them is the Custodes Assassin. Then I have my Strike Squad on my home objective. And my Grandmaster with his Terminators are on my home objective as well. And then over here is just my Dread Knight. So that is my deployment. Have everyone behind cover, just because I don't want to get shot off the board turn 1. Mike does have some long range shooting. I want to get off the board first before I kind of get into it. And over here on Mike's side, he does have some of his Terminators behind this terrain over here, ready to pounce on this objective. And these are the Hellblasters, and they're with the captain behind the terrain in here, with the Ballistic Deathwing Knights with the Terminator captain ready to pounce onto the objective into the center. Then we have the companions with Ezreal ready to hold onto the objective and deal out some withering damage with their choppers. Ballistic Dreadnought back here, and then Mike decided with his infiltrators up here to try to get maybe an early terraform for some points. the Lion and some more Terminators in Deep Strike. He does have a teleport homer here, and where's the other one at?
It's just there.
Just there. All right, teleport homer, right there. That's it. And we'll move on to the first turn roll. All right, so let's see who goes first turn. Yep, I hope Mike. Oh, a 6. Oh no. Looks like Grey Knights go first. Let's go turn 1, see what I get. Turn 1 for the Grey Knights. I did draw Sabotage and Overwhelming Force. I did use one of the 2 free tosses to toss over Sabotage and picked up Recover Assets. So I just need to do an action in Deployment, No Man's Land, and Mike's Deployment for different amounts of points. And then Overwhelming Force, just knock Mike off an objective. So I need to get those stinky old infiltrators over there. So first turn, both has 1 CP. Onto my movement phase. On my movement here, I just stuck most of my stuff kind of back here still. I didn't want to move these out yet and have any shots from the Dreadnoughts into my Librarian squad yet. Strike squad shimmied out here with the teleport shunt just to kind of get up here and move towards this objective possibly. Teleport shunt also these Terminators and the Grandmaster onto this objective just to hold it. I won't be able to do any of the actions or anything. And then if Mike does decide to move towards me, I will Mist of Deimos away. He could stay there and try to sink a 10-inch charge. On my Dread Knight, he can advance, shoot, and charge. So I got a big 6 on the advance up here, 2 inches off because he's a pivotable fella. And Mike did use 1 CP and rolled a 6 to move away 6 inches. So he got himself off this objective. So I won't be able to get Overwhelming Force. He may still lose the unit, but I won't be able to get Overwhelming Force. No good. All right, so that's the movement. I think the shooting phase is going to be pretty quick. It's just going to be the Dread Knight. So we're going to do that, and then we'll come back and see what the charges are if I do need to charge. So for my shooting phase for the Dread Knight, I did manage to kill 3 of the infiltrators. Mike rolled pretty hot on his saves because he rolled 3 of the saves on the heavy incinerator, heavy side cannon, which would have killed him. All right, so now I'm going to try charging him. I do need probably a pretty high charge here, probably like a 7, maybe even an 8. So let's see what happens. Yeah. A 4, that's going to be my turn. I will toss Overwhelming Force for a CP. I did do the action with the fellows back here just for a couple points for the objective. I think it gives me 2 or something like that. So Recover Assets, I will score that for 2 points. If I'm able to keep these, at least one of these 2 units in No Man's Land, since I do have a bunch of units back here. But I have no units even close into Mike, so I will not be able to get the big 6 for the points for that. I'm going to toss Overwhelming Force. The points are 0-0. We'll see if I score any of the Recover Assets at the end of Mike's turn. All right, so Mike did get Recover Assets, same thing as I did, and he got marked for death. So I had to pick 3 units that he needs to get to and kill. So if he kills one of the units, he does get 5 points. So I'll take the Librarian. I don't even know if he can get at the Strike Squad. We'll pick the Strike Squad and I guess the Callous Assassin. So those are the 3 units. I was going to pick the center one, but he could probably get this one. And plus, it's just going to be really hard for him to get at any of these units back here to shoot. So that's going to be the marked of death targets. And Mike is going to pick this for the Oath of Moment target, and he's going to the Devastator Doctrine just because he can get some shots with this Ballistic Dreadnought into some of these strike squads. All right, that's the Mike's command phase and the Oath of Moment and such. Let's go on to his movement. Okay, here, so interesting movement phase for Mike. He did move out the Hellblasters and moved over to the Ballistic Dreadnought to get some shots onto this lone strike squad back here. He did move up close. I could have Mist of Deimos here, but I don't think I want to. Mike would have to sink a 9-inch charge to get in there, and it would burn CP to re-roll it. Plus, this is the one unit I kind of want to fight the Deathwing Knights since they do have the ignore modifiers with the Grandmaster. Well, let's just Dreadnought to get some shots onto my Nemesis Dreadnought just to see if he can do some damage onto him. These guys move just enough, so they're 9.1 away, so I can't Mist of Deimos. But I could have earlier, but he just wants to try and make that charge as easy as he can. These guys stayed back here, not doing much. The Lion and his Terminators still in the Deep Strike since it is turn 1. I did have to burn 2 CP though, because when Mike moved here, I did Overwatch. He moved his infiltrators. I needed to take them out. I only rolled a double 1 on the shots for the Flamer, so I had to re-roll that. I did manage to kill him, but it did burn 2 CP doing it. Ouch.
Shoot at them with the Ballistus Las Cannon.
Oh.
Rerolling hits because you are full power. Looking for 3s. So we get the 2. All right, strength 12. Toughness?
8, I do believe.
8. All right, looking for 3s. Hurrah.
Hurrah!
-3.
-3, he has a 4-up invuln. Takes how much damage?
D6 plus 1. He takes 5.
5, he is down to 7. I do believe these things have 12 of the lives.
Cracking missiles.
Both hits?
Yep. What's toughness again?
8.
8. All right, looking for 3s. Okay.
Nice.
-2.
-2. Well, now I can actually I can roll these all the time now since you can. Do I want to? No, I'll take the damage.
Okay. Big 6.
Big 6. He's down to 2. Here comes all the Hellblasters. 6 of them are going to shoot my poor strike squad. I'm going to use one of my last remaining CP to give myself True Silver Armor just because these things are going to hurt.
I am going to use 1 CP to ignore cover.
Oh.
Looking for 3s.
Looking for trees, re-rolling.
All right, so looking for 2s.
All right, so I need some 4s. Not quite enough. I do lose my strike squad. The objective is sticky still, but ouchie. Now I guess roll some hazardous.
Yep, 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Lose 3.
Yeah.
With no one to shoot at. That is all the shooting done. So Mike is going to, I guess, try to charge my unit, maybe?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, so 9-inch charge. 4, 5, 6, 7, free charge, reroll. Nope.
Alrighty. That's the turn. Mike does get 5 points for killing this unit. He might be able to get the recover assets if he can keep these units alive. So that is the turn. Charge has failed, but still quite a potent turn, taking up my strike squad, so I can't bounce around sticking objectives anymore. I'll pick up the librarian unit, and the Callous Assassin is going to come up. At the end of Mike's turn, I did get the points for recover assets. I did draw a mark for death, the same thing as Mike, so he's going to pick the Deathwing Knights, the Companions, and these tough Terminators over here. So I don't know about that one. I did draw Secure No Man's Land, so I already have that one as long as these units stay there. And then I'm going to get 12 points for having this objective, because luckily I was able to sticky that before the strike squad was obliterated. This objective and this one over here. So it brings me up to 15 points to Mike's 5, going on to my turn 2 movement. For my movement phase, I brought down a lot of units. I brought down my Purifiers over here, but first I brought down the Librarian just to see if I could bait out the Overwatch for Mike, because I didn't want to lose a bunch of my Purifiers. He did shoot me. I am down to 1 wound on one of my Paladins. Brought the Callous Assassin over here to make that Overwatch cost 2 CP when he used it. He did use his Captain to bring it down to 1, but that is his rights of battle used for the battle round. Brought down my Paladins. I can decide in the shooting phase who's actually going to do the action. Either one of those. Grandmaster Nemesis Dread Knight, because I know Mike has stuff in reserves. I don't want him coming to steal my home objective right away. Lo and behold, over here, Mike did spend his remaining CP to bring down the Lion within 9 inches of my... So, that is dangerous. Now he'll be able to charge any one of these next turn if I don't miss the Dynamos, or he just stands there and tries to sink his 9-inch charges. That's the movement. Gonna see if I can do some shoots into some of these things. Alrighty here. So for my turn 2 shooting, not too bad. I did kill all the Hellblasters. Although the stupid Librarian rolled a 1. I love to roll 1s. My Kyria Draxus loves to roll her 1s on her psychic abilities. So I did end up killing my stinking one of my Paladins and doing more wounds to another one. And we have the Purifiers. I did lose 3 of them to Mike's dying from the Hellblasters. And that was pretty much it. Nothing else really to shoot at. But I'm going to try a long bomb charge, 9-inch charge into these Terminators. It might not even be a good idea, but we're going to try it anyways. Yeah. An 8. We're not going to CP reroll that because we weren't even sure if we were going to do that in the first place. And I do get Secure No Man's Land for 5 points. I didn't get Marked for Death just because Mike's units were pretty. Ooh, that's if I get that one. Ooh. No, I don't want to waste the CP. 9-inch, not wasting it. All right, so the points are 20-5 going into Mike's turn 2. So Mike did draw Secure No Man's Land and Aerial Denial. He did spend the CP that he did spend one of the 2 free draws to throw that away, and he picked up Assassination. Much better, just able to kill one of my characters. He does get the 3 points for the Recover Assets, since he was able to do that without getting stopped. And he does get 4 points for his home objective. So it does bring the score up to 12-20 for the Grey Knights. So we're going to go on to Mike's turn 2 for the Dark Angels. I am up to 3 CP, and I do believe Mike is up to 3 CP as well. And then for Mike's turn 2, the Terminators with my Librarian is the Oath of Moment, and he's going to go into the Assault Doctrine. So I do believe he has some Advance and Charges, or is it the Advance and Shoot one?
Advance and Charges.
Oh, right, Advance and Charges coming my way. For Mike, he did move ahead here onto this objective. He doesn't get it, but he will be able to charge into my unit. I didn't have Mist of Deimos since I did have to use it over here when Mike brought the line towards my unit that was doing the terraforming. So I did bring them up with the Mist of Deimos, and then I did actually at the end of his turn rapid ingress them down back over here. And then Mike moved his unit out over here just so he could get some charges onto this unit. Moved the Ballistas over to get some shots. And that was pretty much the turn. Oh, his companions have moved out because he looks like he's going to take a move for the center. I don't know if there's too much I can do about that for now, but let's find out in his shooting and then the charge phase of the Dark Angels. Okay, here. So a quick recap of the shooting phase. I did use my last CP for a True Silver Armor just to see if I could kind of save some of the damage from the Ballistas shots because I would have been saving on 3s. I rolled 2s and 1s, of course, so I lost 2 of my Purifiers, saved the rest of the crack missiles or the ballistic missiles that shot in, whatever the heck those are. The Lion did shoot and kill my poor Nemesis Dread Knight. So he is down, but it does keep either of us from getting on the objective this turn and doing any terraforming. So that is pretty much the shooting. Nothing left because when I did pick up my Paladin's unit, I was able to get over the shots from this Ballistic Dreadnought. So now we have some charges. I do believe Mike is just mostly going to charge stuff in the middle and then charge some Terminators into this big blob of death over here.
Yeah. Is it smart? I don't know. Probably not.
But hey, I tried to make a charge and wasn't. The dice gods will let you know.
Nothing seems. Yeah, I mean, they're just going to stand there and get shot and killed anyway. So, all right, just charging into there from the front. Yep. 5. Yeah. So get a few of them in. I'm going to re-roll. It's not a stratagem. I can just re-roll charges with him. I want to see if I can get a bigger charge to wrap around. Wonderful.
Better.
Okay. Now, Inner Circle Companions, they're going to charge.
Make sure you really, what you have to do is these guys have to finish the charge, and then you got to see if these guys.
Okay,
so you might block yourself off.
That's true. So let's do that first.
Yeah,
okay,
we'll do that first. So we went through here just to make sure Mike. We want to make sure he didn't block himself off because he could fit one guy here. I left enough room for getting one in here. The rest of them couldn't. So he could have kind of brought them over around here and wrapped up here, but he didn't want to do that because he would have blocked off his companions from making a charge. So now he does need to make probably 7 or
something like that.
Something like that. And here's the charge. It's a 6.
So the 9-inch.
All right. Oh, 7. Which ones are you charging? These ones?
The closest ones.
Oh, you probably could have made that.
Yeah.
7?
Yep.
Come on in, buddy.
There are 4 swings each, looking for 2s.
Looking for 2s.
Because of the character. Ugh. Strength 6.
Toughness 5.
Looking for trees.
Yeah. So it's 10 at -2. True Silver brings it down to -1. So I do need 3s. How much damage each of these?
2.
Yeah. Fail much. 1, 2. And there's 2.5 of my maters.
For 2s, because I can't have 1 up.
Here's Ezreal.
Strength 6, looking for 3s with Devi wounds. So one Devi, So 2 wounds and
Alright.
4 at -4.
4 more. Invuln. Oh, failed 3. How much damage?
That one does 2 as well.
All right, so I think I've lost all my meters. All right, so for Mike's combat phase, for the rest of it, he did manage to take out 2 of the paladins, but then I was able to take out 3 of the Terminators. I did lose my entire unit over here. No surprise, they were bamboozled. I was hoping to keep at least they'll swing back a little bit, but they are down and dead. So Mike does get Assassination, and he does get Secure No Man's Land for 2, I do believe. So it does bring him up to 19 to 20 for the Grey Knights. So we're going to go into my turn 3. I'm going to pick up the Purifiers or then the Terminators. Okay, so for Grey Knights turn 3, I did draw behind enemy lines and Containment. I tossed Containment just because I do need to do action with that, and I'm starting to run out of units. So I did get Engaged in all fronts. I tossed that with the second, the last of the free tosses. So I do have Engage, a little easier with that one. And I did get 4 points for this objective and 4 points for this objective. None of them have been terraformed yet. So brings me up to 28 to Mike's 19. And let's go on to the movement and see if I can kind of get rid of some of these Grey Knights. We'll probably avoid that though. Pretty quick movement phase for the Grey Knights. I did fall back here because I didn't have to roll a battle shock since I still have enough units. I'm not below half strength. I did move the Callous Assassin over here because Mike's going to get him. There's no way she's going to escape. So just to try to get her to move her army maybe over this way a little bit, just to try to split it up so she's not just moving this big death block around. This is still sticky, so I did move my Nemesis Dread Knight, the Grandmaster Nemesis Dread Knight over here on to see if I get some shots and maybe charge these fellas that are in here. Hello. And then I did spend 1 CP to bring down this unit of Librarian and the Terminators onto this objective, stealing that from Mike and bringing down my Purifiers for behind enemy lines and to see if I can purify some Terminators. So that's my movement phase. Just going to go into some shooting. I don't even know if there's going to be much things I can charge. Over here, let me build it. So I'm going to do my shooting and see what happens, see if I can kind of take out some of these fellas. All right, so far in the shooting phase, the Purifiers took out one of the Terminators. I did use the Librarian to shoot into this Dreadnought. I did use my Brain Mind Bullets thing. And last time they rolled a 1, this time it rolled a 6. So it's going to be 2d6 mortal wounds to this Dreadnought. Come on! Oh, that is 8 mortal wounds to the Dreadnought. He's down to 4?
I believe yes.
Okay, so for the Grey Knights shooting phase, I was able to kill one of the Terminators. I did do a lot of damage to this Dreadnought, although I wasn't able to kill it, which is annoying. Down to 1 HP, so he will be able to shoot at me. He will be bracketed, but he still get to shoot next turn. No good. And then over here, I did shoot at these Terminators. I only able to kill 2 of them with my Dread Knight, the Grandmaster Dread Knight. So now I'm going to charge them. It's the only thing I can do. I could reach this guy. He's kind of sticking out a little bit. He doesn't get to reroll charges or anything, so let's just see if he makes it. Yeah. An 8. That'll probably get him in.
Pretty sure.
And then we have this big charge down here.
Don't make it.
Nope, and I don't have the CP to re-roll it. So that's the charges. I'm just going to attack the Dread Knight, see what happens over here, and then we'll go on to the scores. To end my turn, failed that charge, of course. I did it over here, and this Dread Knight just, not the best. I only hit once, wounded once, and didn't even, Mike make the save, and then Mike smashed me back for 2 wounds. I'm down to 11, but that keeps, like I said, it keeps me away from that scary, scary man. This center, I'm just going to abandon that. That's probably not going to happen. I did end up taking this objective, and I do have another one back here for behind enemy lines. So I do get behind enemy lines and in the small engage. So it brings me up to 34 to 19, going into Mike's turn 3. So Mike, he does get on his turn 3, 4 points for this objective, bringing him up to 23 to 34 for the Grey Knights. He does draw the no prisoners and cleanse. He did use the last of the free throwaway to throw away cleanse, and he got containment. So we'll see about that. He probably must try to get on here and start doing some terraforming and see what he can do. So on to Mike's movement. I'm up to 1 CP, and I do believe Mike is up to 3. For the command phase, Mike is going to call the Tactical Doctrine, and he's also going to put Oath of the Moment on this squad of Terminators with the Librarian. So that is the command phase. Go on to his movement. And for Mike's movement phase, he just fell back over here with this tactical doctrine so he could get away and charge back into me. Moved over here so he could do a thing. Did you pass your battle shock test?
Oh, yeah. He did.
All right, battle shock passed. So he's going to be able to do an action over here. These guys didn't want to move because he didn't want me to miss the Dimos away.
Battle shock for that.
Battle shock for that guy.
He failed.
All right, so he's failed. And that's pretty much it. So the lion moved over here so he could do a action and terraform.
They moved up here to...
are going to terraform in the middle, and then he moved over here with the companions to try to charge into my lady. All right, so that is the movement. He's going to do some shooting off camera. Not too much to do with the shooting. And we'll go into the charging. Dark Angel's shooting phase. He did bounce off the Grandmaster Nemesis Dread Knight. He did put all these shots from the Ballistus Dreadnoughts into my Librarians. I did lose 2 of my Terminators. I rolled pretty hot, but I think really taking this guy down so he was hitting on 4s is what really got it for me. Because if not, he probably would have pasted a lot more of them. So that's Mike's shooting. He did also shoot some of these companions into my Assassin. No dice. So now I'm going to charge. I do believe I'm going to weather some charges. My poor girl's probably going to get chopped up by some companions.
Yeah, we'll charge the companions.
All right.
That, like a
4. Yeah.
Ideally, I'd like a bigger one so I could get up there more. 6. Yep,
6
get me there.
gets you up there.
All right, Terminators.
Yeah, with these Terminators going to charge in.
Sure, they make
it a 9.
This guy's going to charge and tank shot.
All right, so he's going to tank shock and see because right now we're tied, but in my command phase, I can just res a Terminator. So he's going to try to tank shock and see if he can take out a Terminator. Alrighty, so in the charge phase and the fight phase, Mike did manage to beat out a few more wounds off the Dread Knight. I didn't quite kill this fella. He's down to 1 wound, so it does leave this Dread Knight, so I can't move him around and do some other fun stuff with him. All right, and he did do containment over here, so he's going to get 3 points for that. And then he did kill my Callous Assassin. He's going to get 2 points for that as well. Over here, we just kind of bounced off each other. He did take this, so I won't be able to control it with my Guybring back. But he also won't control it in his turn unless I can smash him to death. We'll see. Purifiers are still here. He does get 5 points in secondaries this turn, bringing the score up to 34 to 28 for the Grey Knights. So I did draw Call the Horde and Aerial Denial, and I don't want to spend the CP I have to redraw. So in my movement phase, so I do get 4 points for this objective and 4 points for this objective that I stickied. I did just move these guys over here. So they are still on it. So I am up to 42 to Mike's 28. And then in my movement phase, I did move these guys out here to get some Librarian shots and everything onto these fellas here. My Dread Knight can still shoot into them. You're gonna do your movement thing?
I wanted to, yes.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. They're not in tactical, so they're only moving 3.
Well, that's about the movement phase. He spent his 1 CP for doing that. Now let's go into my shooting and chargings. Okay, so turn 4 is a pretty quick turn. I was able to take both these Dreadnoughts out back here, so it does clear out his home field objective. I was able to, between the squad with the Librarian and the Terminators and the Nemesis Dread Knight shooting into there, I was able to take these guys down to 2. Still Azrael, still there. It's still a threat, but it's not quite as dangerous. So that pretty much is my turn. I don't get any secondary because I got Aerial Denial and Call the Horde. So I'm going to toss both of those and hope for a better draw. And turn 5, it does bring me up to 1 CP and then 2 CP in Mike's turn. So we're going to go on to Mike's turn and see what he does. The score is still 42 to 28. Let's see what happens. Alrighty, so for Mike's turn 3, he did manage to get onto this objective. Got on there either way, got on there pretty easily. So now he does have that. I no longer get points for that in my turn 5. He did move over here to try to get some charges onto this Paladin group here. He did try to charge into them. He wanted to charge, see if he could take this objective from me. Failed it, even with both of the reroll charges, because this guy does allow him to reroll charges. Failed that. The Lion just moved over here just to hold on to the objective and just do nothing all game. So I'm going to keep on hiding from the Lion. He does get 3 points for behind enemy lines, so it does bring him up to 43 to my 42, and he's going to toss and bring it down. So we're going to go into my turn 5. And we're going to pick up the Purifiers here. So they're going to go into the Deep Strike. At the start of turn 5, I do draw Extend Battle Lines and Cleanse. So I do have to maybe cleanse something. We'll see. Maybe this big fella back here will cleanse. I don't quite know yet. But we're going to do that, and then we will just try to take Mike off objectives, I do believe. So for the end of turn 5, I was able to take out this unit here and take out a lot of the stuff in the middle. Take out everything except for Azrael. So it's just, we just only have each 3 units on the board. I did charge Azrael and he survived and destroyed my Dreadnought. So or my Dread Knight. So that's awesome. So that is the end of my turn. I am up to 55 points. So let's go on to Mike's turn 5. Okay, so the end of the turn there, so Mike was able to deploy some locusts. So he deployed some locusts in there, getting him 4 points. And then he does also get 12 points for the 2 objectives that he did hold. But also we noticed that couldn't do Call the Horde, because you can toss that one if there's not enough infantry strength around, which neither of us have that. So it's a tie game, not too shabby for the Dark Angels. They've gotten much, much stronger than before, because before it used to be kind of just, I didn't really take them seriously. But this time they're much stronger. Gladius Task Force isn't too bad. Decent. I still would rather see them in their own. Like, they have 3 detachments and nobody uses them. So hopefully they get some more buffs, they get some more uses. I did enjoy the game. I like the Grey Knights. Probably gonna do a little more playing with them just to figure out what's going on some, but not too shabby for our first game of Pariah Nexus for Mike and I. Thanks for Mike playing. It's always a good time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by.